Just 5 days after the American Civil War effectively ended, President Abraham Lincoln went to the theater for what should have been a peaceful evening. By the end of the night, history would change forever.
After 4 brutal years of civil war, Lincoln believed the nation could finally begin healing. He spoke openly about reconciliation rather than revenge. Washington was alive with celebration. Crowds gathered beneath waving flags, believing the nation's darkest chapter had finally ended. Among the celebrating crowds moved a famous actor named John Wilkes Booth, publicly admired on stage, privately consumed by anger over the Confederacy's defeat.
On the evening of April 14, 1865, Lincoln and his wife Mary attended the comedy Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater, unaware they were walking into history.
Inside the packed theater, laughter echoed through the hall as the audience settled in. Few noticed that one man already knew exactly how the evening was meant to end.
As the play continued, Booth slipped through the theater with confidence. A well-known actor, he was familiar with the building and attracted little suspicion. Booth made his way toward the presidential box during a moment when security was minimal. The guard assigned to protect Lincoln was no longer at his post.
At approximately 10:15 p.m., Booth entered the presidential box and fired a single shot from a small Derringer pistol into the back of Lincoln's head.
Major Henry Rathbone lunged to stop Booth, but Booth slashed him with a knife before leaping from the presidential box onto the stage below.
Many spectators thought the chaos was part of the performance. Within seconds, Booth crossed the stage and escaped through a rear exit into the Washington night.
Doctors in the audience rushed to Lincoln's side. Realizing his injuries were too severe to treat inside the theater, they carefully carried the unconscious president across the street to the Peterson House.
Unable to save him inside the theater, soldiers and civilians carried President Lincoln across 10th Street to the nearby Peterson House, where doctors fought through the night to keep him alive. Doctors quickly realized the wound was beyond medical treatment. Through the long night, government officials, physicians, and grieving family members waited quietly beside the president.
At 7:22 a.m. on April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln died. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton is widely reported to have said, "Now he belongs to the aged."
Meanwhile, Booth fled Washington on horseback. For nearly 2 weeks, Union soldiers searched farms, forests, and villages across Maryland and Virginia in one of America's largest manhunts of the era. On April 26, 1865, Union cavalry surrounded Booth inside a Virginia tobacco barn. After refusing to surrender, he was shot during the confrontation and died a few hours later.
Abraham Lincoln became the first U.S. president to be assassinated, and his death forever changed the course of American history. More than 160 years later, historians continue